We've covered the Ace family extensively on this channel, and when it comes to Catherine McBroom, or maybe Catherine Pays rather, it seems like she's doing well. She's got a new boyfriend and life is great now that Austin is out of her life. And since then, it seems like Austin has gone downhill, which I think speaks to the Ace family as a whole, that maybe Catherine wasn't the problem, it's always been Austin. This headline reads that YouTuber Austin McBroom faces lawsuit over alleged stalking and trespassing. I love to see the juxtaposition of Catherine doing well with her new man and Austin is getting in trouble for stalking. A Los Angeles woman has filed a civil complaint for damages against Austin McBroom, claiming that he inflicted emotional distress, stalking, and harassment. Her name is Brittany, and she claims that the YouTuber with millions of followers, I believe like 19 million on YouTube on their old family channel, has entered her property without consent and then posted a series of videos in which showed her home address. So he doxed her. If you're not familiar with doxing, it's essentially when a celebrity or someone powerful releases information, or I mean, it could be anyone, but it's when information about someone, private information, is released and it could be used against them in a threatening way. And in this case, Brittany had no reason for Austin to go and put her in this position. Brittany's lawyer writes that several of these videos obviously included Brittany's home address, as they showed the exterior of the home with a clear street view and address numbers. This belligerent act by Austin McBroom violated Brittany's privacy and caused her substantial emotional distress, fear of the consequences resulting from the publication of her home address to millions of strangers. According to the complaint, Austin went to Brittany's home on the morning of August 19th and proceeded to record a video of him performing a loud and disruptive skit, loudly vocalizing, scattering personal effects, and significantly disturbing the tranquility of Brittany's home and her neighborhood. You guys may remember how cringe Austin was acting on Snapchat after his divorce, and it really just seems like he was going through a midlife crisis, unfortunately at other people's expense. Like, remember when Catherine kicked him out of their family home and he had to go and live in this RV?
Come on in, guys. So this is where I'm gonna be staying, y'all. Fire. It's my living room. I just got, try to get a few accessories to make it feel like home.
So Austin, in this chaotic mindset, living in an RV and being separated from his wife and children, he didn't know what to do. He didn't know how to create content without exploiting his children. It appears that Austin pretended to move out or got kicked out of his home through his divorce, acting like he had never lived there. Now, in this skit, you're going to see that Austin uses this RV to act like he pretended to move out or was kicked out of his home. But in fact, he pulled this RV in front of a stranger's home, which happened to be Brittany's and her roommates, and proceeded to create content. The lawyer writes that neither Brittany or her roommates had extended permission to Austin to enter their property, record any activities, or disseminate these recordings on any platform. Later that day, he allegedly posted a series of videos to his Snapchat account. Now, here are some screenshots from the actual lawsuit. They read, McBroom entered the perimeter fencing of the gate and proceeded to the dwelling entrance door. Once inside, Austin proceeded to record a video of himself performing a loud and disruptive skit where he then caused emotional distress, loud noises. Brittany and her roommates were like, what the hell is going on here? And it seems like the point of using their home was to make it seem like he was getting kicked out of this home. But you must understand, it's not his house. So when people are saying, oh wait, Austin got kicked out of the Ace family home, well, that was not actually his home. It looks like he has over 7 million followers on Snapchat. Several of these videos very obviously included her home address, which at this point, Austin should know better, which is why he didn't use his actual home or any home of importance to him, because he'd rather go and just, send out Brittany's address, thinking that he could get away with it. This was not the first time that Austin had used Brittany's home for content. On July 9th, around 3:20 p.m., Austin posted a full house tour inside of their home. The next occurrence was on August 6th, 2024, which, wait, how is Austin getting into Brittany's home over and over again? That's a good question. Like, okay, who's letting him in? Imagine this, you've been in an accident or someone you love has been seriously hurt. Suddenly you're facing a mountain of medical bills, paperwork, and insurance companies that don't want to pay what you deserve. Now, what if I told you there was a simple solution to this nightmare? Getting compensation when you are entitled to can be tricky, with many personal injury firms giving you the runaround, drowning you in paperwork and settling for less than what you deserve. But it doesn't have to be that way. This is where Morgan & Morgan steps sin. As America's largest injury firm, they've modernized the entire process. With over 1,000 attorneys across all 50 states, they have the resources to take on big insurance companies and give you the money you deserve. And trust me, they don't settle for lowball offers. Just this year, they secured a $26 million settlement in Philadelphia, 40 times more than the highest insurance offer. And there are plenty more stories like that. You could just fill out a simple form in minutes. No appointments, no complicated paperwork. Everything is done from your phone. Plus, it's totally free unless you win. Morgan & Morgan makes the process easy and stress-free. You can head over to forthepeople.com/Sloan. You can also find that link in the description below to get started. Remember, the process is free unless you win. Thank you, Morgan & Morgan, for sponsoring this video, and enjoy. Well, on August 6th, Austin posted a series of videos which he acted like he was moving into the home, which ultimately led to the events on August 19th where he was then kicked out. And you guys might be asking, who in the hell would see an address and go and rush to it to go and try to meet Austin McBroom or the Ace family? Well, a lot of people, because this lawyer argues that there was a significant increase in unwanted and threatening visits to her home. Which also, okay, first off, who wants to go and visit the Ace family? But then second off, who are in like Austin's enemies out here who are going to this random person's home and threatening them? These women. Quote, strangers showed up at her home uninvited, leaving her in constant fear for her safety and for the safety of her home. According to the complaint, Austin recently filmed an online dating show called Austin's Looking for Love, in which Brittany's roommate was a participant. Prior to the incident, Austin allegedly posted content inside her home, but the August 19th incident was not permitted in any manner. So it does seem like there's a connection between Brittany's roommate and Austin. And it's not just Austin sneakily doing this all himself. I mean, I'm assuming this roommate has some part in it, but also his brother Landon McBroom, who's an absolute mess, was a part of this as well.
Welcome to Austin's Looking for Love. I am your host, Landon McBroom, and what not a better person to help with this project than his actual brother. We're here now at the location where that show was actually going to be held. Over 40 girls are arriving today, and guess what? In this episode alone, we're already cutting half. With the girls alone, we got just like Austin likes. We got all shapes, sizes, and colors. They're going to be here any minute now. Let's see who arrives.
This is so cringe to me in so many different ways. Not only are they being so thoughtless, but also just objectifying women, which I feel like we're so over nowadays. Like, these guys need to get a new shtick. Like, how do these women feel walking up on this property and going and competing for Austin's love? I mean, I'm just telling you, all you ladies could do much better. Much better than this. Now, Brittany claims that she was forced to move out of the residence and pay double for rent, at least for a month, because of all this unwanted activity. It's obvious a lot of what Austin is posting is dramatized for the camera, but the extent he's going in order to get this attention is unsettling. The comments read, how is Austin not in jail for home invasion and trespassing? Another person asks, why at his big age did he think this was acceptable? Another person writes, there's definitely more to this story. Sorry, not sorry, don't care for him, but come on. If this was true, he would have went to jail for breaking and entering. There's definitely more to this story. And I do agree, there's some missing parts. I mean, while I think Brittany was possibly violated, I don't think Austin's just walking into people's homes. So let's ask this roommate. Well, on his new podcast with his brother Landon, Austin talks about this skit and how he did it all for views and money. He said the property he parked the RV at was his, and that he made so much money off of these skits. Well, that's nice. He's admitting how much money he made off of these skits, so he has this money to go and pay up Brittany. That's probably one of the worst moves that Austin has made, because he's boasting about this money so they can go and prove in court that he financially benefited off of her downfall. Now, you guys know I love to make content. I'm constantly boasting, but this is a podcast that nobody, I can truly say with confidence, no one was asking for this.
I knew at that moment that anything that I was going to do, post, they were going to be watching and they were going to believe. So next day, I went and got an RV, a motorhome, and I parked it across the street from our house. I don't think anybody has ever
seen something like that.
So cringe. He's like boasting about it like, yeah, that was so cool.
Yeah, I don't think anybody has ever seen anybody after a breakup move across the street
In an RV.
from their lady in an RV.
Right. It sounds crazy.
So I fed into it, figured out my character, figured out what I was going to post each and every day. As I was like going through this character, I was
not these like brothers over here like cuddling on the couch together, like giving their take on how they create cringe content and get
living
cash.
here in this home. So I would pull my RV into my property, into my driveway, and I would get out into the home that I'm I'm living it now.
Yeah, and
people really thought
you were in the RV.
they really thought I was living in the RV, but little did they know that was just my office space that I was capitalizing on.
Right.
And that just goes to show you that
The office space you were capitalizing on. The way that he's trying to articulate and professionalize this is so... It's like one of the most cringe... It might be one of the most cringe things of this year, which is pretty crazy because we're towards the end of the year.
people believe any and everything on the internet.
Now, the brothers did get into some more finer details about how much money he actually made off of Snapchat, which makes me cringe because I know like influencers make a lot of money in those things, but like it's crazy to me how much money Snapchat was giving to Austin, which ultimately gives him a lot more power.
$100,000. Higher or lower, Austin?
Damn, we really gotta play this game?
Higher or lower?
A little higher.
That's so stupid.
Like $100,000 a day. Like there are people out here trying to like cure cancer, please.
100,000
It
plus
did.
in a day.
It did feel like I was robbing a bank at one point. Like that's how crazy it was.
If you average 100,000 a day, you know how much bread that
And
is?
it was like during that time, it felt good because everyone was like, yo, he's so down bad. He's broke. He's
If we're gonna make people like famous and rich, could we just make it the right people? And also, I'm glad that he is saying this publicly so that when the IRS goes and they try to look for his taxes, they can pull this clip.
this, he's that.
So you just felt like you were just laughing at him.
I guess
Basically.
you could say that. Like I was living here the whole time. Like this is my back. This has always been my backyard for the past ever since I've separated. This has been my backyard.
So people were on the internet laughing, ha ha, he's off, down bad, he deserves it. And you were...
It just shows that he is willing to do anything for the clout, for the money, and whether it's his reputation or not, he really could care less, which I think speaks volumes. Thank you, Catherine, for getting away and getting your children out of this situation.
making $100,000 in a day
From them laughing at me.
from them laughing at you.
I'm gonna show you guys so you don't think we're capping. We don't cap.
Make sure
Outside Voices Podcast.
when you go up there, make sure that you move the screen around.
Which camera am I showing?
move,
This is
move
so
back.
weird. Wait, what? Okay, so that shows how much money or how many views. I guess all the views. Does it show the money though? Gosh, it makes me just irk inside, especially when we do see certain influencers or people who really are humble and appreciative of what they have. It makes people like the Ace family just a bad representation of influencer culture. We're going to keep up to date on this lawsuit, and hopefully Brittany gets what she needs to go and position herself for success. But at the end of the day, Austin is just a douchebag. I think we could say that in full confidence. And it shows that there are people really out here that will do anything for clicks and content. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for an update, and I'll see you in a new one soon. Bye, guys.